always need a bit of luck as far as the weather's concerned. I think it's the only job in the world where you have all the implements, all the tools, you still get it wrong. The weather has changed this week and it's looking pretty promising.
Cleared up nicely today, and we can only hope we don't have a very wet summer cup for a change.
Let's start off in the second of the afternoon with a horse called Apache Trail.
The maiden plate, you're talking about the second race. I've got a horse called Apache Trail. Yeah, he's a lovely horse. I think I've got hope for him. I think he's a horse for the future. This is probably going to prove too short for him. His half brother won the computer form sprint. He's a 1,000-meter horse.
Pacific Trader won for Brett Crawford 2 years ago.
Correct. His thousands would be way too short for him, and I think even the 6 furlongs too short. And ultimately, he's a big bugger. He probably needs gelding, which the run will tell us. So I'm hoping for a nice run, and in my heart I'm hoping for a surprise and he pops up on me, but it's not expecting a win really.
Then on to a horse that David Mollett asked me specifically to ask you about, a horse called Thunder Jet in the third, and his stable companion Mr. Blue Sky is along with him.
Yeah, Thunder Jet, he's been difficult because at times he's faded out or choked up, and the tongue ties seem to have helped. But he's had issues with sinus, and his last run was a bit disappointing. But he certainly went a bit better this morning, so I think he's set to run in the money. Mr. Blue Sky was a complete surprise his first run, but he's terribly lazy at home, very laid back. He kind of woke up halfway through the race and ran a decent third, and the way he's been behaving since the run, he's kind of woken up. So he's a runner. It's a competitive field. I thought there's a few horses there that horses run a whole bunch of seconds of Stewie Pettigrew's the obvious favourite, but there are one or two other lurkers.
Castle Corner, eh?
Castle Corner is the favourite, yeah. Look, I'm expecting a nice run from both my horses, and Mr. Blue Sky, if he makes the expected improvement, he's a threat.
Okay, then we move on to the Merchants, where obviously Michael, as his Bohica, tops the boards, and Mr. Flood is also a hugely competitive and very consistent sprinter. You've got Gimme a Wave.
Yeah, look, those horses have proven to be top horses. Mr. Flood, on his day, he's a super sprinter, and Bohica's on the up. He's actually, it doesn't look like the handicap has quite caught up with him. The way he's only 2 kilos worse off with Mr. Flood for a 3-length beating and an extra win since then. So he still seems quite well in at the weights.
So if you were the trainer of Mr. Flood, you'd be a bit grumpy.
Well, I'd be a bit disappointed that I'm only getting a 2-kilo turnaround for a 3-length beating. Plus, he's won since. Look, Gimme a Wave is talented, but he's quirky. And he puts his mind to it. I'm contemplating putting half-cup blinkers because he's difficult to get on the track, and he jumps a bit slow. And last run, I thought he just didn't raise the gallop properly. So if he puts his mind to it, he's a horse that can run in the money. He can hopefully surprise.
We've been down this road before where the change is as good as a holiday. Often horses just come to light because they enjoy the change of environment, and clearly the ability that Glenn Cotton always saw in Pac Leader has come to the fore, and he couldn't have really had a better prep.
Yeah, Andrew, he's yet to be tested. I found sort of easy races for him, which was the plan, to give him some confidence. He's been competing at the highest level, and he hadn't had a win for a long time until the other day. So I thought, let me try and give him some confidence and find the weakest race I can to get into the Summer Cup. As you said, he was always a decent horse, especially as a 2- and 3-year-old. He wasn't far away from the best. He was right there. So I'm hoping the change has done him good, and he's the type of horse that's probably suited to our longer straights here at Turfentine and Vaal. He's probably suited to Turfentine. The way he won the other day, it was quite pleasing. And if I'm lucky, or if we've done our job right, he's improved a little bit since then. So comes in the picture. We got a good draw. We got a decent weight. It's gone to plan. He's come through his prep good, so we're hopeful.
You were on a panel with two very prominent trainers in Sean Terry and Paul Peter, and obviously Sean Terry's the defending champion with Zilzal, who now carries the grandstand on his back. But you've got to think to yourself, if Sean fancies his chances, Pac Leader's got to be right alongside any one of them, and Cornish Pomodoro may just be his pick, although he has yet to prove it.
Yeah, look, if you're talking about that panel yesterday, Sean wasn't prepared to choose one of his horses. According to him, they've all come through their prep well. So, you've got to respect Sean Terry. He's won it 3 years running, and he's the defending champion. And look, I was quite impressed with Zilzal's run the other day. I said, it's a 4-week gap, which is ideal in my opinion. A second run after a rest, 4-week gap is perfect. Yeah, you can negate the second run after a rest. Yeah. And with a run like that, he hadn't run for a year. But as I said, if John Gosden can do it with Enable, Sean Terry can do it with Zilzal. But it doesn't stop there. He's got nice horses elsewhere, and we haven't even mentioned the favourite. She's a worthy favourite. She's a superstar. She's got to carry the pudding, 59. But if you look at it in another way, Divine Odyssey ran last year in the Summer Cup with 117 rating, 117. He carried 52.5. He's running again this year. His rating is 117. He's carrying 58.5. It just tells you the strength of the field. Well, see, without Socrat in the race, all the weights have gone up, and Summer Pudding would have been carrying 53 instead of 59. Am I right? She got 59, yeah. 100%. Yeah. So it just puts it into a bit more perspective. As you say, Zilzal's carrying 60, and he also carried 52.5 last year. But he's only gone up 2 kilos in the handicap.
It's not rocket science. That Sean Terry's filly, that Ashley Parker bred, has met Summer Pudding on 3 occasions at level weights. She now gets 7 kilos from him.
Yeah, she must come in the picture with a lightweight. I'm just not sure you can rely on her. When the chips are down, she's not a Summer Pudding. Yeah. Even though she's 7 kilos better off, I think Summer Pudding will raise her game and still be hard to pass.
You've got a filly representing you in the Ipitombi, who's definitely in the deep end, but you've always had high hopes for her.
Yeah, she's a smart filly. I mean, as a 3-year-old, she was my best at home. She went wrong in the Guineas. Simanga just left her alone because she wasn't going well, and she's had a holiday since then. She come back with quite an impressive little 6 furlong. She had no right to win, but she found a gap and got there. And we've always thought she's top class, although she's not. She's out at the weights here. We had to make a decision if we want to run or not. But there's not many opportunities for older fillies to get black type, and she put up a very nice gallop. I think her gallop was good enough to take a chance. There's less than a handful of horses that I would say are hard to beat. So if we can run in the placings even, without winning it, we'll still get blacked up.